Hey bros, welcome back to Castle Gnarlo. We've got an update here. As you see, we are in a somewhat familiar location. You may be able to guess it from looking at the mini-map up there in the corner. But if I press F5 one more time, you will see we are in the bakery, the basement of the bakery. J. Carmine's Bakery here. And as you see, Frodo and Sam are still hard at work down here, guarding, making sure there are no rats in the cellar. And no pests, and making sure no one comes tunneling into the sewers. Because after all, that is the entire reason they were ever down here. Anything you might hear otherwise is just dirty, foul rumor, and I wouldn't listen to any of it. So, we're going to leave the basement. We're going to head back upstairs into the bakery here. And as you see, I've been busy recreating or restoring some of the functionality. If you remember, we had the display cases, display stands, I think was the name of it, was one of the mods I originally ran in this place. It looked like stairs. You know, you had a stair step, and the stair step you could put items on. So this one, the Bibliocraft, has a slightly different version of that. It's display cases, which as you see you can do the sneak click and it opens up. I've got the ones in back here for the actual items. I consider these three, they're closed, so they're the refrigerated cases, the sealed cases. You've got milk here, all the good stuff that a bakery should have. You've got cookies over here, you've got bread, of course you've got the cake on the table that has been there since the place was built. And then the cases up front, you've got the items that you would normally see, reminding you that it is a bakery. You've got a display case with wheat, you've got one with flour, you've got one with sugar, and you've got one with eggs. So there you go. So we've got the bakery back in almost restored back to its original condition here, before the great millionaire crash and before I pulled out all the mods and things. Outside's the one that I'm really happy with. Come over here, and I have got a water wheel, which seems to be wanting to work kind of funny at the moment. I've heard it go boom here a couple of times. Let me take a look. I'm going to take the water wheel out, put it back in. It was running much better earlier. Let me see. Let me try taking the engine out, and I'll rejoin y'all in just a moment here. Alright, we have returned here. That bang. The engines, I'm going to have to take a look. This is all Buildcraft here. It's a kinetic engine. I'm wondering if it gets full of the megajoules there, and the power has nowhere to go. That bang you heard, that rather loud explosion, I'm wondering if that's the engine overheating or whatever. But as you see, it's a Buildcraft. This is a kinetic engine. If you right click on it, there are 3 different water wheels that you can build. There's a small water wheel, a big water wheel, and a huge water wheel. And I'm just ever so happy that I can have my rotating water wheel here again, that I've been missing ever since I had to drop the Better Than Wolves mod. So that right there is just a never-ending source of joy to me right there. Okay, heading back on into the castle grounds again. As you see here, we've got the old obsidian ogre defenses all around the place. I wish we could get the Mo Creatures mod put in here. I may give it a try at one point in time, but I think there's just too many things that it does that will conflict with the other things here in Forge. Plus the fact I don't want to go back to the animal spawning, the domestic animal just random spawning, instead of the situation where it is now, where they're persistent creatures. You know, I'd like to keep it with breeding and all, and I don't think you can do that with Mo Creatures, but I am going to look into it. In here, go into the stables, and you see we have a horse again. I've been able to replace the horse that the dwarves let die, which of course actually disappeared whenever Mo creatures had to be taken out of it, because the horse I originally had in here, that was put in back during the Mo creature days, when before horses actually existed in the game. You had to mod them in. So we have returned the stables to where they need to be, and we have our starting to get our riding livestock back in. We shall travel on up. And Lord, you talk about breaking. He was a pain in the butt to break. The first horse that I had in there, I had the good fortune of having an apple. When Dr. Zark first put Mo creatures in here and first put horses in here, apples didn't fall from trees. All you got from oak trees were leaves, and were saplings and leaves whenever you broke them down. Apples didn't grow on the oak trees. You had to find apples in dungeon chests, and I actually had a couple. And the good thing about Dr. Zark back then was that the apples were so rare that if you fed one to a horse, it tamed it instantly. And that's how I tamed my first horse that I had. But of course, this one took a good deal more breaking than that. And next up, here in the library with the enchanting table, we have built a bibliocraft bookcase, which if you right click, you'll see you've got the books here. I used the books that were from the ones that you are given whenever you log in, you know, the ones that go Mariculture, the Open Blocks books, the Tinker's Construct books, the ones that give you instructions on how to build things. And as you see, we can store them on the bookcases, and as you move them around, they will move to different positions and different shelves exactly where you put them. I love this. I'm going to have so much fun with the bibliocraft stuff, putting furniture and things all around Castle Gnarlo here. Let's see, is there anything else that I've done? I've showed you all the bookcase, I've showed you the water wheel, the repairs to the bakery. I think the only other thing so far that we've done here in the County Gnarlo is that we have started working on out here come on out here to what had been for a long time my tree farm, although almost all of them have now grown into the large trees with the various branches and stuff. It's all still the oaks and all, but as you see, most of them have grown into the larger trees that have the very spreading branches, the ones I don't want to cut down because I like the way they look. There's just very few of the low riding scrub trees left. A couple of them that I'm going to have to trim back and see if I can get them to grow into the larger ones. But the big thing is right here. As you see, we've got a 2x2 pool. It is surrounded in all 12 spots with something of nature, in this case flowers. And if I'd brought a diamond out here with me, I would throw a diamond in there and you would see it explode into a Twilight Forest portal. And that is what we are going to do the next time around, is that I am going to open up a portal to the Twilight Forest and jump through it and build a portal on the other side so that we can travel back and forth between it and here, and I can get some good exploration and all done. So there you go. I'm kind of building this into a sylvan area. As you see, it's kind of I've worked on trying to get as many of the large trees here as possible. Not all of them are the branch ones yet, but all of them are large enough so that the leaves are all way all off the ground. Any of the ones that spawned here lower, I've been chopping down and waiting for the taller trees to spawn. And it will be a work in progress. I think I'm also going to put probably some marble columns around it, make it look much more like a sylvan glen. And I've surrounded almost the entire island as far as I could, as far as the dirt and sand goes, with a barrier of reeds here to make it look nice and secluded. So that's where we are going to go next time, is we will be exploring the Twilight Forest. So for County Gnarlo, this is Gnarlo saying goodbye, and we will see you next time.